how should you invest $100 if you had only $100? I would say buy yourself a nice sushi meal and enjoy it because you're fucking broke and you don't have any future whatsoever. I'm kidding about that. You have some future, but you have to save up. You're not going to be able to do much with $100. So I encourage you to do yard work, teach kids tennis. That's what I used to do. There's a good racket in that where you teach upper class kids tennis. You have to learn tennis first. I don't know. If you have $100, or let's take it up another notch. What if you're entirely broke? You need to invest in your brain. You need to invest in your knowledge, in your future, because you need to have some knowledge. You obviously don't have money, so you don't have much. You can't trade in the markets. What are you going to do? You're going to take on some binary option bullshit. You're going to take on some broker that offers you like 10 to 1 or 20 to 1 leverage and try to trade Forex. You'll just end up losing $100 or $500 or $1,000. Or maybe you do make money and then you learn terrible lessons and you build your account up to 10 or 20,000, then you lose 40,000 because you've learned the wrong lessons. You need to do this the right way. You can't cheat success. So my top student started with $1,500. Now he's over $6 million. I started with like $12,000. Several of my students started with like $2,000 or $3,000. You need a few $1,000s. So whatever you can do, scrounge together that money. That said, if you are broke and you only have $100, does that mean that you shouldn't study? You should just ignore the whole stock market and all of finance? No, because somehow, some way, I think that you will be able to have $1,000 or $2,000 in your life at some point where you can actually trade and grow that money using a normal, not so risky strategy like what I teach. But even if you do have that money, you don't necessarily have that knowledge. So when you are totally broke, you have nothing but time. Okay, you have no excuses. You obviously have no job. You probably have no life either. So you have a lot of time to study. So utilize this broke, shitty lifetime that you have and make the best of it. I have over 1,000 free videos on YouTube. When you're rich, you don't want to be watching that stuff. You're going to have girls hitting you up all the time. You're going to be out on the town. You can spend $500. You can spend $5,000. You can spend fucking $50,000 in a night. And let me tell you, that's fun. But when you're broke, you can't have fun. So you have to study. Use your broken, shitty life well and get some knowledge. That way, at least even if you're broke, you can get smart. So then when you do save up a few $1,000s, you'll have already prepared and you'll have that knowledge ready. And you'll still have to keep studying because the market is always changing. You have to adapt. But at least then you will have a foundation that most people do not have. I have a lot of trust fund like kids who are, start with like $50 or $100 or $250,000. And they're like, oh, Tim, this is child's play. I'll definitely become your next millionaire student. I don't have that much to go. And they fucking suck, okay? The people who start big are the worst because they take their money for granted. They don't study. They don't put in the time and effort to actually do what it takes to grow a small account. They ignore my advice to start smaller rather than bigger. So be grateful if you're broke. Be grateful if you have $100 to your name. There's nowhere to go but up. You're already fucking miserable, poor, living a shitty life, having nothing to do with your life. You can't go out and have fun. So it gives you no excuse whatsoever other than to study. And somehow you're watching this, so you have internet access. I don't know if you're bumming free internet at McDonald's or if you're at the library or if you're at the Starbucks. Maybe you're outside Starbucks and you're begging for some change, but maybe the Wi-Fi is like going through the door, so you still have Wi-Fi. So as you're begging for change, you can also study. So now you're multitasking. That's what you're gonna have to learn to do as you grow richer, okay? And remember, when you are broke, there's almost nothing worse than, your current situation. So piss in your pants, shit in your pants, it doesn't fucking matter. No one takes you seriously anyways right now. So it's your job to study up. It's your job to move yourself up and do whatever it takes to get a few $1,000s and get that knowledge so that you can grow the few thousand into 50,000, 100,000, a million, 2 million, 6 million like my top students and I do. But first, watch all my videos. Watch them twice. Watch them 3 times, okay? Make yourself a fucking ramen noodle or a cup of noodle, whatever the fuck you have. Try to bum like a microwave from somebody else because you don't even have any power. You're that broke. Maybe have cold ramen and like just crunch it as you're watching these video lessons. I don't know, but I look forward to you becoming my next millionaire student, you bum. Hey, Tim Sykes, Millionaire Mentor and Trader. Thank you for watching my videos. I hope that they help you. I want to share everything that I've learned over the years. You can check out more videos right over there. And also click subscribe so that you can watch all of these videos, get that knowledge, and become my next millionaire student.